we ready to begin?
Good morning!
My name is Misty.
Come on, Ike, it's time.
We would be honored if you would join us.
The greatest adventure of all time.
We just become best friends.
Yep.
Come on, let's get in character.
What are you waiting for, huh?
Oh, come on!
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm cartoony. How are you?
I would like to see you as a cartoon.
I would too.
I bet you would be pretty funny.
I would be funny.
An animated Ike. Does anybody out there know how to animate Ike?
Or Misty.
Or Misty. Or Misty and Ike?
What if we turn into a morning cartoon?
That would be super fun.
Or an afternoon cartoon?
Or an anytime cartoon.
Yeah.
Just a cartoon, period.
That is funny. There are people out there in the world that animate clips from podcasts and make them funny stories.
I know. I've seen a few of those.
Man, I hope they do that to us.
Man, me too.
But I wouldn't mind, instead of this becoming like an entertainment news broadcast, I wouldn't mind if they turned us into a cartoon.
It'd be pretty funny.
Let's call our friends at the network and see what they're thinking.
Pretty funny as cartoons, I think.
It would be a cartoon about a couple of podcasters, but what happens pre and post
Oh my gosh.
podcast.
Dun dun dun.
Looking at you, Cartoon Network.
Behind the scenes.
Yeah.
Well, so we're going to talk about cartoons today.
We are.
Because in 1950, on August 19th, that's when ABC began for the first time airing television shows for children on Saturday mornings.
Right.
Now, it didn't start with cartoons. It started with a show called Animal Clinic that featured live animals.
That sounds
and then
fun.
following that was the Acrobat Ranch, where Tumbling Tim and Flying Flo flew across the small screen to entertain new kids.
That's hilarious.
And then a few years later, in 1955, the first animated cartoon started, the Mighty Mouse Playhouse.
Mighty Mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I thought doing an episode about early cartoons would be fun. And I think you found all kinds of fun stuff about the Jetsons and the Flintstones.
I did. I'm going to stay away from Jetsons stuff because I think we got a Jetsons episode
I
coming
think that
up.
we probably got a Jetsons episode coming up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's the Wikipedia definition of animation in the United States in the television era.
Okay.
The television era of American animation was a period in the history of the U.S. animation that slowly set in with the decline of theatrical animated shorts, and the popularization of television animation during the late 1950s and 60s was in full swing by the 1970s and 80s. It continues with the background saying, television animation developed from the success of animated movies in the first half of the 20th century. The state of animation changed dramatically in the 3 decades starting with the post-World War II proliferation thank you, of television. Wow, Ike reads. While studios gave up on the big-budget theatrical short cartoons that thrived in the 1930s and 40s, new television animation studios would thrive based on the economy and volume of their output. By the end of the 1980s, most of the golden age animators had retired or died, and their younger successors were ready to change the industry and the way that animation was perceived, leading to the Renaissance age of American animation, which I will now click on.
It's pretty cool, actually.
Did any of that make sense? I just kind of blacked out and read. Sometimes I can read without understanding what I'm reading.
Well, I want to go back to the fact, proliferation.
Yeah.
You didn't do bad. You tried.
Prolifer.
Some words are just hard, no matter if you know what they mean.
Yeah.
They're just hard to say.
Yeah. Sometimes I can look at a word and hear it in my head, but I can't say it.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, you surely had a friend when you were a kid that couldn't say spaghetti, and they called it sketty.
Oh, sure.
I have adult friends that still do that.
Oh, I have adult friends that their mouth moves when they listen to you talk. Like as you're reading, their mouth is going.
That's fucking weird. I don't know.
You don't know anybody like that?
No, I don't. Not that I've ever noticed.
You'll see it
and
now.
now I'm going to see it.
Yeah.
Now I definitely feel like I need to see it.
Yeah. What was the first cartoon?
I believe the first animated television series was called Crusader Rabbit.
I'm gonna look
The main
that up.
character was Crusader Rabbit and his sidekick, Ragland D.T. Tiger, or Rags. The stories were 4-minute long satirical cliffhangers. It was test marketed in 1948. With the initial serial Crusader versus the state of Texas airing in Los Angeles on KNBH, now KNBC, beginning in August of 1950.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
It's okay.
Here's what he looks
Yeah,
like.
what's he look like?
Crusader Rabbit.
Oh, he cute.
I'm going to go ahead and...
Look at his giant ears.
Yeah, I think that Crusader Rabbit might be Bugs Bunny's grandfather.
I also think that Crusader Rabbit looks like Frank Bourne's old dog.
Oh, Gizmo.
Yeah, looks
That's
like
hilarious.
Gizmo.
That is hilarious.
Those giant ears, bat ears. Crusader Rabbit was cute. I can see why people like Crusader Rabbit.
And then he's got his own tiger.
Yeah.
with him. That's interesting.
That's Raglan T. Tiger.
Yeah.
Rags.
Tigger, perhaps.
So the program was syndicated from 50 to 51 for 195 episodes. But keep in mind, they were only 4 minutes long.
Much like Misty and Ike's, only 15 minutes long.
Then revived again in 1959 for 260 color episodes.
Wow.
So the guy that created it, Jay Ward, went on to create the Rocky and Bullwinkle show.
That makes a lot of sense.
He was involved as the business manager and producer of Crusader Rabbit.
That is so interesting. I did not know any of that.
Yeah. I have never heard of Crusader Rabbit.
No, but it is nice to know that we've made more episodes of Misty and Ike than they did of Well, actually, 190 plus 260 is more.
We're there. We're close to there.
We'll get them.
Yep, we will. Yeah. So
I feel like I could go on Jeopardy now.
I feel like I could too.
Yeah.
I know all about Crusader Rabbit now.
Yeah. That'll be fun at parties.
Yeah.
Do you know the first cartoon ever?
Yeah. Do you know about Crusader Rabbit?
Let's
Let me
go
tell
on
you a little story.
The Crusaders. I want to watch a clip of it, but I won't do it right now.
Right.
But then shortly after Crusader Rabbit, it was followed by the Flintstones and the Jetsons,
Meet
which
George Jetson.
got me on a side tangent before we started recording because something said that the Jetsons was on air from 1962 to 1987, and I was like, I would have heard about a cartoon being on
that long
for 25 years.
Right.
And it turned out the Jetsons were on for 24 episodes and then canceled, only to come back for 51 episodes in 1987.
I liked the Jetsons a lot when I was a kid.
Oh, boy.
And I don't know if you remember this. They did a Jetsons movie in the 80s.
I saw it in the movie theaters.
So did I.
Yeah.
Because it was the voice of Tiffany,
Yeah.
the singer.
Oh.
She was the teenage daughter. And I was a huge fan, and I made my mom take me to go see the Jetsons.
I think we're turning the rest of this episode into the Jetsons.
Well, I mean, we definitely could. There is a lot that you could break down about the Jetsons.
Well, I'm going to just drop one more fact that I think is really cool.
Okay.
The actor who played George Jetson
In the original.
Okay. His name's actually George.
You got to be kidding me.
George Ohanlon played George Jetson.
George Ohanlon
Yeah.
played George Jetson.
Yep.
Did George O'Hanlon do anything else?
Let's find out. George Ohanlon, Wikipedia, sadly no longer with us past 1989. He was an American actor and writer and was best known for his role as Joe McDokeys in Warner Brothers live-action Joe McDokeys short subjects from 1942 to 1956, and as the voice of George Jetson in Hanna-Barbera's 1962 primetime animated television series The Jetsons and the 1985 revival. He did both.
Wow.
Yeah.
And he did the 85 revival not long before he passed. If he passed in
just
89.
barely missed the movie there.
Yeah.
Interesting.
What year did the movie come out? The Jetsons movie?
1990, I think.
I think so. That sounds about right. Because it was during my New Kids on the Block heyday. And that's why I love Tiffany so much. Because she went on tour with them.
George, I'm going to find out. George.
Meet George Jetson.
The sitcom was 62.
His boy Elroy.
Jetsons.
Jane, his wife.
Movie release date. And the internet goes to, July 6, 1990. Man, we just missed that one.
Yeah, you nailed that one.
I saw it earlier today. I can't claim that I'm that fast on the hip.
I thought you were just that good.
Are we doing all cartoons or just like early release cartoons?
We're doing the start of cartoons, like where cartoons began. Here's something that I want to talk about though. Do you think that cartoons were an evolution of puppets?
Ooh.
Like puppet shows? Weren't those big before TV cartoons? Didn't they do like TV puppet shows?
I think, I think you're not far off. Mm-hmm. But technically, a cartoon could be one still image and it could be hand drawn. So I think they had
animations.
Yeah. So
Right.
I think cartoons have been around since like the 1800s or earlier, with like drawn out like.
But I mean like TV cartoons. I mean, we're talking about TV cartoons. We're not talking about newspapers or books or anything like that. Like that's a whole, all of that, that's illustrations and those go to cavemen. Like, I'm just wondering if, like, I mean, do you remember Howdy Doody?
I do remember.
Wasn't he was a man and it was a children's show and he had puppets, right? Didn't Howdy Doody have puppets? I mean, we know Mr. Rogers did.
Howdy Doody was a puppet.
Oh, who is the man?
And he had right?
Right.
I could be wrong.
That's Howdy Doody was a marionette.
Yeah.
Like a
that's a
the
fancy
strings.
That's a fancy word for puppet. Oh,
puppets
no.
Or puppets.
Puppet has a hand in your ass.
Marionettes yeah, that's totally different.
See, I would misclassify Howdy Doody as a puppet.
Okay, so my roommate came home the other night and he had gone to go see something new. The Los Angeles Marionette Theater moved.
Oh.
Did you know that LA had a marionette theater?
It doesn't surprise me, but it also creeps me out a little bit.
I always knew that we had a puppet theater, and it's always been on my list of I really want to go and see a show at the puppet theater. But LA has a pretty massive marionette theater.
Okay.
And
where is it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna find it.
Well, it just moved. It's in Highland Park, I believe, right by Donut Front.
I don't think I've been to Donut Friend. It's the Bob Baker Marionette Theater.
Yeah. How
It's
cool is
founded by
that? Bob Baker.
Spoiler alert, Bob Baker. And Alton Wood in 1963 is the oldest children's theater company in Los Angeles. In June 2009, the theater was designated as a Los Angeles Historical Cultural Monument. And it has it as 4949 York Boulevard in Los Angeles.
I believe that they changed buildings since that address, I
Perhaps.
think.
That's insane.
How cool is that?
Step
We
ins-
have an inn. We can get on the guest list at the Marionette Theater.
Do we really?
We do. We have an inn now.
If you want to check it out for yourself, you can go to bobbakermarionettetheater.com or you can just Google LA Marionette Theater. Should we watch a clip?
Yeah, I think we should.
All right, I'm going to keep the volume down for this. Step inside LA's historic Marionette Theater. Boy, this cartoon
pretty
episode
cool, right?
took a turn, didn't it?
It did. Well, I mean, cartoons, like I said, I think they started with things like this.
Yeah.
Like animated TV cartoons.
Okay, here's a Marvel ad for a movie that you've already seen.
Always love Marvel ads.
All right. Bob Baker Marionette Theater. Whoa. Should we hear some of the...
Yeah, I think we should.
That was 80 years ago.
If you're just listening, we're watching a video about marionettes.
Photography, looking for like animatronics.
Ew, look how cool it is.
I come down and see a show. It's the coolest place I've ever seen. So I talked to Bob about the interning, and that's how I got here.
Whoa. Alex Evans is the creative director of the Marionette Theater in Los Angeles, California. Just reading the lower thirds for the folks at home.
That might be Adam's friend.
Was the world's greatest puppeteer. When he was 8 years old, he saw his puppet show and spent the whole life kind of creating this place and so much more. Way more than just 2,000 plus puppets, but really representing, a lifetime, and not just Bob's lifetime, but like, the lifetime of everyone who's going to come.
Sounds like we need to do a whole episode on that.
I think that we do. Because, I just actually read after 55 years in a small cinder block building at the edge of downtown LA, it moved to a former movie theater turned Korean church on the corner of York Boulevard in Highland Park. So, I think this just opens up a whole can of worms that we clearly need to do a puppet theater, marionette theater episode.
We do.
Wow. So, man.
I got the 9 oldest cartoons in the world.
All right. I want to hear them.
9 is Steamboat Willie. November 18th, 1928. So I think these were the cartoons that would play before movies in the cinema. So as opposed to like television cartoons.
Right.
Steamboat Willie at number 9. Trolley Troubles, 1927. The Adventures of Prince Ahmed in 1926. I think we're getting older and older. Alice's Wonderland.
Oh.
That looked like a mix of live action and animation. Getting older again, Feline Follies in 1919. Gertie the Dinosaur in 1914.
I would have watched Gertie the Dinosaur.
Me too.
I'd watch it right now, probably.
How a Mosquito Operates. Look at this picture. Wow.
What?
That's crazy. In 1912.
Wow.
Little Nemo. Isn't that interesting?
I don't like whatever's happening in that picture. I don't
1911.
feel comfortable with that.
Yeah. Isn't it weird that, like, okay, that's Phantasmagorie in 1908 was the first. That's in France.
Phantasmagorie.
Yep. That's what. Mm-hmm.
I like that. You know, I like little stick figure drawings, though.
Yeah.
I'm
Isn't
super
it?
into them.
It's weird as you scroll through this. It's like there had to be people who could draw better, but were they
Yeah,
necessarily?
there's something
people-
endearing about those drawings, though, looking like they were done by children.
Yeah.
You know, you see it and you're like, oh, yeah.
Well, that is some cartoons and some.
And some marionettes.
Marionettes.
And some just all kinds of stuff.
And that's just how we roll. And some Jetsons.
Yeah. And some Jetsons and some
Yeah.
Flintstones. Like, we just went for it there.
If
like,
you want to hear the ADD version of Misty and Ike, go back to like the first 50, and we would start talking about like dinosaurs, and we would end talking about brain surgery.
It's true.
Which is wherever
and
the
then brain
internet took
surgery
us.
on dinosaurs.
That's right.
Yeah.
But stay tuned for our Saturday episodes where we tie all 5 episodes of the week together.
I'm excited about that this week.
into one fictional story.
Yep.
And please stay tuned for tomorrow as we
So
celebrate.
excited.
We're celebrating a birthday tomorrow.
Yep.
Someone's birthday.
A very important birthday.
Yes.
A very important birthday.
Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
It's our freaking birthday.
It's our birthday 1 year tomorrow.
1 year, 280 episodes strong, folks. Plus your bonus weekend episodes and all the other content.
We
we've
did
made.
not miss a single day.
Not one.
Not one day did we go, I can't do it today.
That makes me a little emotional, actually.
Yeah.
Just to think about that.
We committed to something and we did it.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about it tomorrow.
All right.
Yep.
Happy birthday,
Okay, bye.
Mikeys.